The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
From the top of Keenan, kill the roar so loud. Black and gold waving, we're a fearless crowd. Under them lights, the fight burns bright. Greatest team assembled, ready for the fight. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a Hawk's eye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our eyes. On the field, on the court, in the stands, we shine. The best in the game, and the state is mine. Cover Hawkeyes, working, watch them break that glass. Dropping dimes, hitting threes, never second guess. Full court hustle, hear the sneaker slide. With the fight in our veins, we red at pride. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a Hawk's eye view, see the whole state rise.
All right. Good evening, and Hawk's Eye View or Hawk's Night View, late night Hawk's Eye View here. Andrew Barber, AJ Hawksby, as we get you settled in for a 10 p.m. Central Standard tip-off there. We'll talk Iowa men's basketball in a second, but a late night for Hawk fans on a weeknight. So,
Little West Coast trip.
yeah, I love it. Love it. How you feeling tonight, AJ?
I'm feeling good. We get late night basketball action. Get to talk some Hawkeye athletics, and just starting the night off now. 8 o'clock.
Yeah, Iowa men looking for their fifth straight, looking for a quad one opportunity tonight. We can dive in there. Fifth straight, and then they can really make it 7 straight, like we kind of talked about before this whole thing kicked off. But 4 in a row for the Iowa men, and they're trying to make it 5. Before we get to that, you wanted to talk recruiting rankings, I think?
Yeah. So Big Ten Network posted it. Look at the transfer rankings and then also the recruiting rankings. And now this is, again, and we talked about it when we were talking transfers and the portal. A lot of this is the rankings wise is from 247 Sports. But the recruiting rankings, Iowa ranked in at 28, which is, fairly common. Around that 25, 30 mark. Every year we seem to sit there. But what really caught my eye was the transfer rankings at 64. I thought that was very low. You have Rutgers at 71 right behind us, and Maryland at 73. Minnesota at 34, that caught my eye. Northwestern at 43, Washington 47, Wisconsin 48. We didn't get big names per se, but I feel like we got a good group that came in for the transfer from the transfer portal. So obviously I don't expect us to be in the top 25, but that seems to be extremely low in my opinion.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give my rant, my spiel on this. I think high school recruiting rankings, specifically from 247 Sports, are infinitely more accurate than transfer player rankings. And the reason why is just like you have more time to accurately rank high school athletes because they're in high school for 4 years. These kids in the portal, yeah, you might have some film, but the portal just moves so fast that I think specifically with the FCS kids, they're hard to rank because there's one, not a lot of film, not a lot of resources to do those kinds of rankings. And so like Tony Diaz, Evan James, just arbitrarily given like 85s, like 85 overalls. So I think we both know that those guys are better than that. So one, I think it's kind of a time resource problem on these recruiting sites to where they can't accurately rank guys. And then number two, I would say pay more attention to the offers that transfers get and where they could actually commit to / visit rather than the star ranking. Just the overall ranking of them
from high school.
Yeah, from high school, or I do think that they're kind of reevaluated once they hit the portal a little bit, but I think there's just like, okay, you're a former 4-star who didn't work out at your college. You're getting a little bit higher in the transfer rankings than an FCS guy who really overachieved. And it's just because you have that pedigree from high school. So I guess
say my thing is what
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say what was our transfer? Do you know what ranking we were last year? Because I mean, fairly similar, right?
Yeah, fairly. Yeah, go ahead and look it up. But I would imagine we're fairly similar. And then also, I would say high school recruiting rankings, transfer recruiting rankings. If you bring in a ton of guys, you're gonna be higher in the rankings because I think these are driven off of the total, like, basically just like the total ratings of everybody that you bring in.
So last year we were 56, if that helps.
Yeah, that helps a lot with the context there. So, like, if you bring in a ton of guys, you're going to be way up the rankings.
Yep.
So I would say with a team like Minnesota that you called out, they probably brought in 5 to 10 more guys than Iowa did. Right. I would imagine.
So Minnesota last year, just to kind of scale it, 29 last year. They had 18 3-stars and just 1 4-star. So that's how they got there. How about this? Indiana, 25.
Yeah.
25. And they had the best roster in college football. I mean, hands down.
Right.
18 3-stars they brought in and 3 4-stars, no 5-stars, which I know is not really common. I mean, really, there was only about 3 5-stars that went in the transfer portal last year per 247 Sports. But super, super interesting. But I don't try to dwell on it too much. I just saw that number and thought,
Yeah, I think like a team like Wisconsin had a pretty good transfer portal ranking last year.
Let me see what they had.
Yeah, they were pretty good, I would imagine. I think people were really high on everybody that they brought in.
Yeah, Nebraska was 13, so Wisconsin 14. So
yeah. Okay. See there, we see how that worked out.
Yeah, it doesn't tell a tale really.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. But also, Iowa's a developmental program. We're going to use the transfer portal to kind of fill some holes, maybe some gaps, but we're not going to use it to roster build.
Yeah.
Not in the Kirk Ferentz era. If we have to use the transfer portal to roster build, that means we did something disastrously wrong in our high school recruiting efforts.
Yeah.
That means we missed on a ton of guys left. Something disastrous happened, and that's probably not going to be a good outcome.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at our transfers this year, a lot of them were underclassmen. I mean, there's what 3 or 4 freshmen, couple sophomores, three sophomores, something like that. I think a lot of those guys were, you know, underclassmen. I mean,
Cole.
yeah,
Cole, I agree. I recruit guys who work hard and fit the scheme. Always works. Kirk never cared about stars.
yeah,
That's correct. But also, a guy like Tony Diaz should have more than 3 stars. He should be a 4-star guy.
yeah,
A guy like LJ Phillips should be a 4-star guy. Tyler Brown, the safety from James Madison, should be a 4-star guy. But they're not. They're FCS are low level FBS guys.
Mhm.
And we took Tony Diaz away from Bama. We took LJ Phillips away from Penn State. We took Tyler Brown and the Wilson kid away from his coach at UCLA.
yeah,
Like, we convinced them to leave their coach high and
Yeah.
dry to come to Iowa. So
Yeah.
we're doing all right. Also, Cole says, I saw some analysts saying we have the third easiest conference schedule. Our first 3 conference games are brutal. Yes, they are.
yeah,
Yes, they are. We can
Yeah.
talk about that. The first 3 conference games of Iowa's football season are brutal. But after that, it is basically the old Big Ten West for us.
yeah. It is.
I think that's what the analysts are saying is the
Yep.
first 3 are rough. The last 6 are not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
any comments on the schedule there, AJ?
I don't know. I like the schedule a lot. I know we talked about it last week, about, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, but can we make it with one win or one loss? I'm sorry, with one loss, and or could we make it with 2? I think that schedule favors the 2 losses there, because if we
Sure.
do lose those back-to-back against Michigan and Ohio State, I think the schedule only gets easier as we go on. We win out. You win out. So you win your first, 3, you lose to Michigan and Ohio State. Okay. You move on and you win the next, was it 7? 7? I mean,
Finish the
you're the
year on a
hottest, you're the
7 game.
hottest. Yeah. You're the hottest team, one of them in college football, unless someone goes 16-0 again. And then more than likely, you don't have to play in the Big Ten championship. More than likely, you're going to have an Oregon or Ohio State or Indiana again with 2 teams with 1 loss, or one with 0 and one with 1 loss. And I mean, I think it could work out. Definitely could. So I like the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it too. I like the way it sets up ultimately. And we can talk about that as we get
Yeah.
a little bit closer to football season. I think there's some questions there.
Yep.
All right. Let's flip the script to women's basketball. We were on last week and we were really hyping this team up, AJ. And a little bit of a reality check maybe on the West Coast trip. I think I'm more disappointed in the results in the USC game than I am the UCLA game. I think coming out dead against a USC team that I think is just okay, just average, is really kind of concerning to me.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just this West Coast thing, right? It kind of scares me about any Iowa athletics, really, to be honest. I don't know if it's the time change or what it is, but yeah, I agree. That USC team definitely is not the more talented team, I don't think, in anyone's eyes. You kind of look at the McCabe injury too. You go, okay, well, this is the first game without McCabe, right? Did that play a factor at all? They were 7 of 21 from 3, so not great. 33%, so not horrible, but not great. You look at that number and go, but yeah, it just overall that wasn't the best game. Stalky didn't have her best game. That was a tough watch for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was rough. Addie Deal had a rough outing, so we need her to bounce back in a big way. kind of in this schedule coming up here. Yeah, you mentioned it, the 3-point shooting, I think. And I do think we made kind of a late charge in that game too, but ultimately just kind of wasn't enough. Yeah, and I don't really know what adjustments you can make, and I think you brought up a good point with McCabe. I do think that's a little bit more of a factor than we gave it credit last week. They could kind of use her. She is, has the ability to heat up and win you a game, kind of.
Yep.
And yeah, you really miss that, I think, sometimes. It also really makes the offense flow a little bit better too when she's out there because you have to respect her as a shooter so much.
Yep.
It opens up kind of the lane for Hayden and Stolke. And whereas if Deal's not hitting now you got a real problem because you can't count on Feuerbach to consistently hit the three. So if Deal's not hitting, now you've got Chit Chat really as your only kind of 3-point shooter out there at any given time, and teams can really just crash down on what you're doing in the lane, not having to worry about the threat of the three. How about Journey Houston though? You talked Journey Houston a little bit last week, I think, and she was awesome in that USC game, and she played decently well against UCLA.
Yeah, 16 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 8 rebounds as well. I mean, a freshman. We got a freshman who's looking good. And then Stremlo had a good game. She's a sophomore, so she's a young underclassman as well. But she had a good game, 4-9 shooting, 3 of 8 from 3. So she kind of picked up where, McCabe, with McCabe being out. But, some of these young players now are going to have to step up for this team. Stolke, Hayden had 23 combined, just 9 rebounds together. So that was a tough performance. I think the UCLA game, you take that as a learning opportunity either way. It's a good team. It's an elite team. It's it's a Final Four team, Final Four bus type team for them for sure. But I think you're going to have your lows in a season, and we knew that was kind of an end of a difficult stretch of basketball for the Iowa women's team, and now we can kind of take our 10 ranking. So we only dropped 2 spots, right? 2 losses, 2 spots. They saw those as competitive games, and the UCLA game kind of as a wash, I guess. But now we move to a couple weeks here where they're very winnable games. 1 ranked opponent in the next 4 games. So,
yep. Yeah, it's nice to kind of bounce back at home this Thursday with Minnesota, who's a good team. They're not currently ranked, but if you look at Basketball Reference, you look at their simple rating system, it's a team that, according to Basketball Reference's rating system, is better than Maryland or Ohio State. I know the rankings don't reflect that, but the analytics would kind of tell you that this Minnesota team is a lot better than the rankings suggest. So that'll be a good test. It's not easy by any means with Minnesota and Washington. Washington next week, Wednesday. You mentioned they're ranked. So I think it's a good opportunity to bounce back and go 2-0 at home and kind of get your mind right, get things rolling for the second half of the season, finish the year going on a tear. I think you can really go 6 if you could go 6-1 to finish the year. I'm looking at that at Nebraska game, which I think will be kind of tough as a potential loss there. Looking at a home date with Michigan, that could be kind of tough as well.
Yep.
I think if you find a way to finish the year like 6-1 or even 7-0, which is within the realm of possibility, even after this 2-game skid. That's got to be kind of the mindset for Jan Johnson in this squad.
100%. At this point, really, you're almost locked in at a bye automatic. Is it double bye? It's double bye, right? Because everybody's playing this year in the Big Ten.
Everybody's playing this year in the Big Ten. And yeah, like you mentioned, I think they've got this Iowa women's team has an inside track at a double bye.
Yep.
That should obviously be the goal. But I think more than that, they can probably finish a second in this conference. They can finish second behind UCLA, finish the year with 3 losses. I think that would be an absolutely incredible outcome. Or 4 losses, sorry, excuse me. But yeah, if you ended the year 25-4, 16-2 in the Big Ten, that would be an outstanding year.
Yeah.
And that should be the goal, the mindset. And you're still looking at a 2 or a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament in that scenario.
And they recharge, obviously. So Sunday they get back, probably late Sunday night. They get back to Iowa City, maybe Monday morning, I guess. But you recharge. You got a game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Big Ten Network. So enough time to kind of reset back at home.
Yeah, and it would feel good to be back to hosting the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament in Iowa City.
Yep.
Because that's one of the advantages of the women's tournament. You play well enough to get a top 4 seed, you get to host 2 games theoretically.
I love that.
Yeah. So I do too. It doesn't work in the men's game because there's too much money involved.
Too much money involved, yeah.
Yeah. Sure. But
I mean, maybe there is talks in the men's side, or at least it's rumored to be talked about expanding. And it's like, okay, well, these play-in games, instead of doing them in Dayton, why not, if they have 5 or 6, or if they do 6 play-in games or something, or 8 play-in games, to expand it a little bit, put those play-in games at the home of the team with the better record or something. I don't know.
I would love
it
that.
Would be pretty cool to see some games there. Yeah.
I'm also not sure. I've kind of gone back and forth on this, on if I'm in favor of expansion or not. I am if it includes, like we see these teams from these mid-major, low-major conference who win 30 games and lose in their conference tournament and don't make it.
Yeah.
If expansion means including a team like that, I'm in favor. Yeah. But I don't think it means that. I think expansion means including bottom half of the Big 10, Big 12,
ACC,
ACC,
right?
Those kinds of teams.
Yeah,
and
I think you're right.
I don't want to see like Syracuse playing Oklahoma,
NC State,
I don't want to see Syracuse playing Oklahoma on a random Tuesday night. I don't care.
No, I agree with that. We'll talk. I mean, once we get closer to March Madness, but I do think there might be, with Miami of Ohio and St. Louis kind of lingering around the top 25 in the AP pool, we might have something like that happen again this year for a team that shouldn't, if they kind of skid here late. So, but
I think that's more of a concern with Miami than St. Louis. I think St. Louis kind of has a profile of an NCAA tournament team more so than what Miami does.
Yeah.
But this isn't a Billikens podcast or a Red Hawks podcast, but you and I are just huge lovers of sports, so we go pretty deep. But anything on this women's team that you want to see going forward, or you were surprised about maybe in the last 2 games?
I think you need to call out Addie Deal again, and then maybe she'll go for 20 and 15 again.
Is that how it works?
Something crazy? I don't know. I mean, after we gave her all the praise, we got 3 points out of her in 2 games. So
it's like, do I have to get on here and criticize her just for the sake of like Iowa's season? I'll do it.
I'm just messing, but no, I just obviously, I mean, we're gonna have to figure something out here and kind of get going. Feuerbach had a tough game, and just to get the team back going against what you're saying is a decent Minnesota team for sure, rankings wise or net rankings. Is that what it was?
Simple rating system.
Yeah.
It's just a kind of a rating system that Basketball Reference has come up with.
Yep.
So it's their way of rating teams.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt. It's
Sure.
a lot like how, Ken Palm rates teams. But I do want to call out that Minnesota is not just some pushover like they have been in the past.
Sure.
They have been awful in the past where it's just a given that we're just going to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the case. So do think we'll win, but I don't think it's a given that we'll destroy them. So
just gotta get another W here and
get that momentum.
Reset, just a reset.
Yeah, get that momentum back on your side and get rolling as we head into March or February and then March. So all right. Well, I think AJ, this is a perfect time to take a break. And then we can come back and talk men's basketball.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
Welcome back to Cooking with Billy and Willie. We're already in progress because great cooking doesn't wait. Today, we're turning things up with Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces.
This chicken and the beef here and all this stuff is fantastic. It tastes fantastic with this Naked Dave stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, this barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Yeah, that's why we're doing the commercial for Naked Daves. That's why we're like pretend like we're naked. We pretend like we're naked, and then we eat. And it'll be a good commercial.
It will be, for sure.
Hey, why are you really naked? You didn't have to be all the way naked. You just were pretend.
It's supposed to, I wanted it to be like realistic, like Daniel Day-Lewis or
well,
something.
one thing you can keep the chair after this. Where's the director?
What's the problem? What is your guys' problem? It's fine.
What? Why is he naked?
I told him we were doing a naked commercial at your house.
This is like the worst porno flick ever.
It's Naked Dave. Look at Dave.
It really is good.
If you want bold flavor that doesn't hold back, try Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces. Find it at your local Hy-Vee grocery store. Ask your grocer to carry it or order online today at www.littlewolffoods.com. And remember, Naked Dave's, you don't have to be naked to use it. In the heart of Des Moines, one name has stood above the rest, Iowa Beef Steakhouse. Step inside and you enter a place where tradition still matters, where the atmosphere feels familiar, warm, and unmistakably Iowa. Service isn't rushed. It's personal, attentive, and rooted in genuine care. And before the main event, the freshest start in the city, our signature salad bar, crafted every single day. Then comes the reason people have returned for generations. Iowa beef, hand-seasoned with pride. Guided by flame, forged by heat. This is where flavor becomes legend. Served with the same care it was crafted with, a meal meant to be remembered. And whether the night calls for bold, smooth, or something in between, our bar offers a selection as rich as our history. including the old-fashioned we've become known for. Balanced, timeless, unforgettable. And long after the fire cools, the glow of this place stays with you. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa. Where Iowa comes for steak, done right.
Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman, Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
All right, we're back. And AJ, we talked about how you're nervous about West Coast things for Iowa sports, but the Iowa men's team, hey, they are 3-0 on the West Coast because they won those 2 games on a neutral court and at Oregon. So they're thriving on the West Coast this year. And they have another game tonight at 10 p.m. And I know that they just stayed. So it's not the West Coast thing. The time zone thing, not really going to be a factor tonight because they just stayed.
I hope not. I mean, 10 o'clock, this is easily the latest Iowa game ever that I can remember, at least.
On a weeknight, for sure.
Especially on a weeknight. I mean, 8 o'clock is, it can happen from time to time. 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock is normal, but we'll get a couple 5:30 starts on the weekdays, but 10 o'clock seems crazy. I guess the one thing I circle or want to point out is we're only a 2.5 point favorite against this Washington team. Yeah, and I know this Washington team comes in projected to be better than they are, right? They have an NBA talent, Steinbach, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Hans Steinbach. Yep.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be the real deal. I don't know much about him from Germany.
Double guy, double machine.
Okay.
Very efficient, power forward type. Can step out and hit the three. He is awesome.
Yeah.
So, wish we had a guy like Hans Steinbach. I think you got to start with him, and then you got to move to kind of Zoom Diallo. That's kind of their guard. He's been playing the point, but he's only been playing the point because Desmond Claude, who he played at USC last year, has been hurt. So Diallo's running the point. He's improved as a shooter, but he would rather get downhill and attack. He's a lot better version of some of those Rutgers guards. He can get downhill and attack and really wreak havoc there. And he'll run, obviously, pick and roll, pick and pop stuff with Steinbach a lot. That's the bulk of their offense. And then you've got Wesley Yates III, who you also remember from the USC game last year, was splashing threes on Iowa. I think obviously a completely different squad on both, but he's kind of their off-guard shooter. He can get downhill a little bit too, but mostly off the ball. So those are kind of the three key guys. Those are their top three guys, I would say.
So
that you have to look at. You have to look at in tonight's game.
Yeah, and Banks, I just looked up. He is going to be available tonight, so that is a plus there. I'm assuming he's put onto Steinbach.
I I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know who's going to play Steinbach. I think it could be some of Banks. But more so, I think this is kind of going to be like a big Alvaro game. We're going to really need Alvaro to play really well. And he did so against Oregon.
Yeah.
He had one of his best games as a Hawk against Oregon. And he started to show some of his best stuff too, kind of down the stretch against USC. He made a key 3 there at the end to kind of help ice that game a little bit.
His defense concerns me. His defense is what concerns me, you know?
It does, but he's putting in the effort, so I'm far less concerned because the effort's there. Whether it's perfect or not, no, it's not. But it's at least the effort is there, and that's really all that McCollum needs, is to see that you're making the effort, and you're gonna. But we need him. We need him because he can pull Steinbach, and then also they have what's his name? I got to look him up here. Frank Chang, who's a huge dude, 6'11", 225, but he plays a lot bigger than that. He's extremely physical down there. That's why I think we need Varo at the center, because he can pull those bigs for Washington who are not comfortable outside away. Wanted to talk Howson too. Howson had a game against Oregon. I don't know if it's – I hope that's not a flash in the pan. I hope that's the start of something for him.
I agree.
Because he brought it defensively a little bit. And,
certainly, yeah.
Kind of came in and hit some shots at kind of a time when Oregon was making a little bit of a run, and kind of really helped Iowa retake control of the game and just kind of keep Oregon at a very nice distance there. So that was good because it was starting to remind me of the USC game where we blew open a big lead and then let them back into it.
Or Michigan State.
Yeah, or that kind of snowballed on us.
Yeah.
But I meant like the game before we had a big lead. We lost the lead. We ended up pulling it out.
Yeah.
It was good to see that, like, as a team, we were kind of heading towards a similar scenario, except on the road. And we just found another gear, cranked it up, cruised.
Yeah.
Instead of letting Oregon back into it and having to sweat it out.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised though with Howson, because at least in my friend group we're all Hawk fans, as I had said before, but we all questioned it, a month ago. Well, where is this, 3-point sniper from Kansas State, this transfer that we got in that we're all so excited about. And now I heard a report this morning, and I can't remember who it was that was on KXNO this morning when I was listening to the drive, but they were talking about him being maybe injured early in the season. Coming into the season, he was injured, and so they think there may be some, the injury. He could be recovered from that, and now he's going to get his time. He's just kind of working his way into it. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he plays tonight, how many minutes he gets, because, what was he averaging? Maybe a couple minutes a game. And then I think he ended the last 7-8 minutes of the game, right, in the second half. Yeah. Kind of lit a torch for us. Took one Caitlin Clark monster bomb 3 that I was not the most thrilled with, but and he missed, but the rest,
I'm fine with it, man, because that's his mentality. And I don't know if you watched any of his highlights before, like when he transferred to Iowa. He bombed one of those against Iowa State last year.
Yeah, I watched that game and I remember him. That's how I remembered him. I was like, wait, we got him? What?
Yeah, we got this guy who just absolutely torched Iowa State.
Right.
I think we talked about this earlier. This is his first time of being part of a winning program.
Yeah.
And being part of a program where defense, playing hard on defense, is an expectation, not just like a nice to have kind of thing. I think both him and Fulgaris are figuring that out. And we're seeing them kind of, especially with Fulgaris, I think we're seeing him be a lot closer to the guy that he was at Robert Morris than the guy that he was earlier in the year, where it was up and down, inconsistent. If we get that kind of production from him consistently, and then Howson comes along with it too and starts contributing in a meaningful way, it's kind of like what we talked about the women's team, where you kind of have Deal and Houston and other people that kind of developing as the season goes on. It raises the ceiling for the team.
For sure.
Not sure how familiar you are with Ryan Hammer. He's a pretty big college basketball account. Maybe I'm getting a little deep into the weeds. But he's the guy who came up with this thing called the trapezoid of excellence. You heard of this?
No.
Basically, it's pace meets like your net rating adjusted for your opponents. And ideally, you want to be somewhere in the middle in terms of pace, not too fast, not too slow, able to play fast and slow, but also playing really well. That's kind of what that net rating adjusted for your opponents is. So like a team like Duke is right there in the middle. A team like Iowa State is right there in the middle. He kind of draws a trapezoid.
I see.
There at the top, right? With the bottom of the trapezoid starting up at the top and down. Iowa's to the left, just outside of the trapezoid, but our numbers are pretty consistent with like Houston. This year's Houston squad.
Yeah.
In terms of, we're a little bit slower paced than Houston.
Sure. Yeah.
And we're a little bit lower on the net rating side of things, but we're basically right there with Houston. So we're not in the trapezoid where you want to be, but it's just kind of interesting to me as well that that kind of is going in our favor. Plus also, we're top 30 Ken Palm offensive and defensive rating. So the reason why that's significant is because every team that's won the championship has met that metric. If they've met that metric entering the NCAA tournament, someone that's met that metric has won every year since 2002.
Yeah, I that's how I picked my last two national championships. Is by doing that.
And then just picking kind of what you think is the best one, because there's a lot of teams that always fit that every year.
I did. I just want to state I did win 2 brackets last year for some good cash. So
yeah, because you picked Florida.
I did take Florida. But yeah, I mean, I was one of a decent handful, but yes, I took that into consideration, the net rankings, offense and defense.
Yeah. And I'm not, please, if you're listening, please don't hear me saying I was going to win the national championship. I'm just saying we have the profile kind of analytically of a pretty good team.
To make a run.
Yeah. To make a run.
I did some searching this morning before work at Bracketology, just taking a peek at what they had us at. They most had us at an 8 seed at the moment. Obviously, we still have games to win. but anyway, so but most of them were going up against Houston in that second round, which I think is a very interesting matchup with two defensive, slow-paced teams. I mean, yeah, I think that's a good spot for us. if we're gonna take anybody, I think Houston's a team like that. But I know we're going way far out, but I'm just talking in general. I would love to see us in that 6-7 seed though, for sure. I don't know if I want an 8-9, but
Yeah, I think what I've seen is we're around that 8-9, but we're projected probably with the way our schedule is to kind of be higher than that. We're projected more towards that 6 line. So I think we're going to kind of play our way there. That's another reason tonight is huge for Iowa. Another quad one opportunity. Washington's number 48 in the net rankings. You only have to be top 75 on the road to be a net one or a quad one. So I think this Washington team is good enough where if we win, and given Washington's schedule, because their schedule really eases up after they play Iowa. They play a lot of teams in the bottom quarter of the Big Ten to finish the year, and teams in the middle. Like Washington could really go on a run. So all that to say, Washington will remain a quad one. So if Iowa wins, they will have this on their resume as a quad one for the rest of the year.
Does that spread scare you at 2.5? Iowa favored by 2.5. Does that kind of scare you a little bit?
Yeah, it does, man. This is not going to be easy because we're going to get Washington's best shot because they see the rest of their schedule beyond Iowa and go, hey, if we win this game and then also if we get healthy, if we get Desmond Claude back, if we get they have Ognosovich from Lipscomb, who Iowa recruited, kind of integrated more into the team, and Yates gets a little bit of his feet under him, and Bryson Tucker, who's starting now, like they're going to get healthier and get better as the season goes on. This is kind of Washington's shot to really start a run of their own.
I mean, it really is. They don't play a single ranked opponent for the rest of the season. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. That is it must have been a pretty front loaded there, Big Ten for them. Yeah, it was. I was also going to make note, Minnesota just upset Michigan State. So you think that's going to help us when we lost at Minnesota, or is that already a quad one?
I think that was already a quad one loss, but it certainly doesn't hurt. I mean, I don't think we're to the point of needing to make sure that things are like that are quad one loss. But thank you, Minnesota, for doing that. And that also just kind of illustrates doesn't matter how good the team you're playing is. If you're on the road in the Big Ten, it is tough.
It doesn't matter,
Feltz, known Iowa basketball Twitter personality, Feltz says life on the road in the Big Ten, y'all. And I hope he doesn't say that about Iowa tonight. But to me, also, like we're almost there in terms of being a lock for the NCAA tournament. To me, a win signals a lock for the NCAA tournament for Iowa too.
For sure.
Because our next two are home against Northwestern, on the road against Maryland, which if we can't win both of those, we got some questions.
Yeah.
We got some questions. Or we have some devastating injuries that we have to talk about. Hopefully not devastating
Hopefully
injuries.
not. And hopefully Banks just – if they're not going to – well, we're really going to find out just how injured he is. I'm not really understanding – I didn't really see anything, I guess. They don't do a very good job reporting injuries in basketball, I don't think. Not like in football. And maybe that's because in basketball they hold it closer to their chest. I don't know. But I didn't really hear a whole lot. And now I didn't have the TV up that loud in the Oregon game. Do you know what the injury was?
It's a hip thing that he dealt with last year at Drake.
Okay.
It's kind of just a reoccurring injury, and he had a back thing before the year, and now he's kind of got a hip thing going on. And yeah, I think you really, really need him for this game. And if we can get through this game with a win, there might be an opportunity to really ease off on the next two for him to kind of get him healthy, get him right. I think you can just give more minutes to guys like Sage and Howard against Northwestern and Maryland and probably get by with it, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, we got Washington tonight, obviously, and then you got 3 games in a week, not even 3 games in 6 days. So you got, Northwestern and Maryland, but then you play Purdue at home. That's on Fox, by the way. They haven't announced a time yet. I'm assuming it's probably going to be an earlier game. I'm hoping so.
Hoping so. Hey, Carver's sold out for that one.
Already. Really? Nice.
Carver's sold out for that Purdue game, and I have no doubts that Carver will also probably be sold out for that Nebraska game.
Absolutely.
On the 17th. If it isn't sold out already, it's going to be there. But yeah, you mentioned it. We have 2 games this week. One more game. Yeah, 2 games this week, and then next Wednesday and then next Saturday.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that you can rest Banks maybe against Northwestern and Maryland. Yeah. Kind of looking ahead to that Purdue Nebraska stretch where again you're gonna really need
have to have
Banks. You gotta have him for that stretch to have a realistic shot. But we can talk about that maybe next week when we come back. Oh, yeah. Because that is probably going to define the season right there. Those 2 games. That's probably going to tell us what we should expect in March from this team. You win those 2 at home. Now you're talking about some serious stuff.
Yeah.
It's not impossible.
No, it's not. We played Purdue tough in the first matchup on the road, which we never really play well at Mackey. And then Nebraska's good, man. I don't care what anybody says. I hate it. But they're good. And
they are. But
they're beatable. They're beatable.
Yeah, the shine is worn off them a little bit.
For sure.
These last 2 losses here.
And they're 3 or bust. That team is 3-point or bust. And they're one of those teams in the tournament that you stay away from taking too far. That's the team you're like, all right, if they have a bad night, they're going to go out first round. That's a possibility. It's easily a possibility. So, yeah, I think our 3-point defense is pretty solid.
It is. I think we allow 30% from 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I definitely think that is one that is winnable and should be won. I don't know. I guess we'll find out just how real Nebraska is against a very, very solid defensive team in Iowa. So,
yeah. So, I think those are 2 big games, and we can talk about it. Maybe we should bring on Tyler to help us out for that Purdue Nebraska stretch. Yeah. So we might do that. But also tonight's big in a lot of ways too. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and put us at 19-5 if we win tonight.
Yep.
I'm gonna just chalk it up. You probably shouldn't do that, but I'm going to.
I like it.
All right, buddy. Anything else Iowa men's basketball? Okay. We can't go this whole podcast without talking about Bennett Sturtz's performance against Oregon. Career high, 32 points.
Yeah.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Awesome. Don't care who it's against. It was
Yeah.
against a power conference opponent on the
Yep.
road. You see why he's a potential lottery pick.
100%.
And the last mock draft I saw on ESPN for the NBA had him going 13th.
Really?
Yep.
Let me
Right. 13th to the Grizzlies is what I saw. So
see if anything pops up at all.
yeah. So
I know it's early though.
if he doesn't end up in the lottery, that's fine. But if he ends, I think he's a surefire first rounder.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's pure. His shot is pure. It's just
yep.
There's literally nothing else you can say about it.
And he's just smart as a basketball player too.
Yeah.
He just knows how to kind of play that game and is very cerebral with it. Like he would do so well on the right NBA team as a rotation guard.
Give me Sturts. Give me Sturts on a game-winning fadeaway tonight or something crazy. That's what I'll take.
Oh,
I'll take.
gosh.
Give me Washington. Give me Washington to cover the 2.5. Bennett Sturts game winner.
Oh,
that's what I'm calling tonight.
Give me that exact score, AJ. Give me an exact score.
Give me Iowa 76, Washington 74.
Okay. I'm going to go 72-67 Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we'll be able to hold them down a little bit and we'll cover. Do not bet on my favorite team kind of guy, so I won't be making that bet. I only bet on Alabama basketball overs, which is the reason why this podcast was delayed. Had to watch my Alabama basketball over cash, which it did easily. Thankfully. That's why we're here. That's why we're here
tonight.
That's why we're doing it. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a good one. Actually, an earlier year mock draft had Bennett Sturts getting picked by the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Really?
That would be why. That was late. He wasn't lottery. He's kind of later round, but they own some picks that are like near the lottery. So, I mean, if there's a world where Bennett Sturts ends up just being the backup point guard for the OKC Thunder, that would be insane.
That's crazy.
They would be too good. They would be too good at basketball at that point in time. So that can't happen because we need there to be competitive balance in the NBA.
I don't even really watch the NBA, to be honest. I can't. It can't consume my time. I can't do it.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I know you're a Denver guy for sports.
I'm a Nuggets fan. Yeah, I'm a Nuggets fan, but I don't unless they're like prime time, I might turn it on. But it's just it's hard to watch. NBA is hard to watch for me. It's
dude.
The playoffs I can watch. I can watch the playoffs, but I just can't watch when it's 130 to 118 with 2 minutes left.
You're missing out on a once in a lifetime Jokic, dude. Like I can't not turn on Jokic. He's once in a lifetime, dude.
I mean, he's fun to watch.
And I'm starting to feel the same about Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg is awesome.
I saw he scored like 48 the other night, right, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, can we talk Luka Garza? Luka Garza's been sensational off the bench for the Celtics.
He finally got his chance.
He went 4 for 4 from 3 last night. They were playing the Mavs, coincidentally. Cooper Flagg did score like 40, but Luka Garza, they started calling him Luka Legend during the broadcast.
Really?
Like Larry Legend. That's what they used to call Larry Bird. They started calling him Luka Legend, but 4 for 4 from 3. And get that man in the 3-point contest, dude.
Yeah,
let's see Luka Garza. Let's see Luka Garza in the 3-point contest. See what can happen.
He deserves a shot so badly. He was like one of those guys when he came out of college, you're like, could he? I think he could, I think he could. He has it there. He just has to go to the right team. And then, of course, he goes to Timberwolves, Iowa Wolves. He's sitting there. So this was right before he started just completely just staying with the Timberwolves, but I had tickets for free to go to the game. And I have my Luka Garza bobblehead right over here. My Iowa Wolves Luka Garza bobblehead sitting up on my mantle. But I went to a game thinking he was going to play. As soon as we got there, I didn't see him out on the court. I looked. He got signed to be like a 10-day contract or whatever with the T-Wolves, and that was the last time I think he ever played for the Iowa Wolves or was on the Iowa Wolves, and I was supposed to see him. I thought I was gonna. Fortunately, I never got to see him play for the Wolves, which kind of sucked. But yeah, I'm happy for him, the player. I mean, and he's such a good dude. So
yeah, I'm happy for him too, and I hope the fact that they traded for Nikola Vucevic doesn't completely destroy his minutes. Hopefully, they shut down Vucevic for some odd reason. But or get rid of Neemias Queta. You don't need Neemias Queta, Nikola Vucevic. But anyways, I digress. Good to see some Hawks thriving in the NBA a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully Keegan Murray can get back and start thriving too, but the Kings suck.
Yeah, the Kings are horrible.
Kings suck. Get Keegan Murray off the Kings. I think that might be an every week thing until he's eventually off the Kings. Please get him off that squad and onto the real NBA team. But yeah, anything else before we call it a night, AJ, and then we go watch Iowa tip off in 45 minutes.
45 minutes. No, let's go Hawks. Let's get this dub tonight. Let's get off the West Coast and come back home and start a big stretch of W's.
Yeah, let's just win out. Let's just win out the season. Just go nuts.
I like it.
Win the Big Ten tournament. Just absolutely roll. No, maybe. You never know. But I don't think that's realistic. But I'd like to come back happy that we won 2 games this week.
I agree.
Next week. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate you. Oh, one shameless plug. It's coming up on February 28th. So getting this out in front of you. Live show at Revelton Distillery, Billy and Willie's workshop. As you can see from the Naked Dave's commercial, a couple of interesting guys. Weirdos. A couple of real weirdos, to be honest. Go watch a couple of real weirdos live at Revelton, which is all the way out in Osceola. But Revelton, their setup there, it's a nice place. I don't know if you've ever been there, AJ, but it's nice. It's a great place to hang out for a while. So, and you get to see kind of the way that they make their stuff. So, and they have good stuff. They have all really, really good stuff. So get on out to Revelton on February 28th around 7 p.m. It's a late night thing. So, all right, that'll do it. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Talking football, talking hoops, every sport in between. IOWA, yeah, you know what I mean. From a Hawks eye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our